What's going on, everyone? It's Kochyy here. So we have the information on the new mid-month banner, which is the Santa Claus summons, and they feature new seasonal versions of Yoruichi, Nemu, and Retsu. So today for this video, just gonna go over their stats and skills as usual, and then look at their gameplay, and I'll give you my opinions on them. So here, the new Christmas version characters featuring characters dressed in Santa costumes are coming soon. They'll be available on the 16th at Raid Reset. The new summons will feature new characters, Drift Racing Santa Yoruichi, Explosive Present delivering Santa Nemu, and Smiling Candle bearing Santa Retsu. Start saving your spirit orbs now. So we'll start with the first character, which is Yoruichi. Going over her stat, she has 1047 stamina, 638 attack, 363 defense, 346 focus, and 774 SP, and her skills I believe to be are Sprinter, Frenzy, Bruiser 20%, Devastation 40, Freeze Immunity, and Debilitator 5 seconds. Her killer is Soul Reaper Killer, and she has a Strong Attack Recharge 12% Soul trait, and she is a Mind Attribute character. So on first glance, she seems, just on paper, she seems really good. Frenzy character, high SP, a good killer, good soul trait. It's everything you would want in a Frenzy character. But let's get into her gameplay and we will see from there. So this is her gameplay from the live stream. If the quality is bad, I apologize. So first they start here with her NAD string. I'm actually just going to play that back slowly. So yeah, you can see the extra flash steps right there. 1, 2, 3. So I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like a split hit. And then the last hit there. So I think it's a 5-hit string. I'm not 100% sure, but that is definitely a split hit. Yeah, the second part of her string is split. I don't know if the last part of her string is split or not, or if that's just one hit. But that is her NAD string. We'll go back to normal speed. They showcase it here one more time. I don't know if that like flip forward is split into 2 hits, or if this is just 1 hit. But we'll find out when the character, I guess, comes out. And now we see, look at her strong attacks. Her strong attack 1, she extends her hand out and a sleigh comes out and just travels forward. You'll see it better. You're going to use it again in the next room. We'll see it again. And you see the extra flash steps in action here. So here we go. Strong attack 1. So you see it from here. She's standing. It's a projectile type strong attack. It just travels outwards. This is kind of the width of it. So it's kind of narrow. If you're doing co-op and stuff like that in a big map, you're not really going to hit much in this small area. So this strong attack I'm not really a fan of. I don't like that they gave her a projectile type collision, SA1. Like you see the damage is kind of inconsistent. It killed those 2 and left the other 2 alive. So that was her SA2 right there, and we'll just skip ahead. I guess they don't do it again, but what they will when it comes off cooldown. But her SA3 here, it's full screen SA3 standard. That's pretty good. Did they not do her SA2 again? Okay, no, they play her specials. I'll go back. I don't want to have her special just yet. And right here, okay. Slow that down, and then we'll play this. So that's her SA2. Her SA2 really reminds me of, here it is again. It's a dash type strong attack where she goes forward. It kind of reminds me of 1000 Year Blood Warrior Yoruichi and her SA2. Although this one seems very slow in comparison. It's the same kind of dash forward. There's a big circular AoE around her and it hits everything as she's moving forward, but it's much slower comparatively. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like when they make the same strong attack, but they just make one slower for whatever reason. But anyway, here's a special. There's the Drift Queen, I guess, herself on the sleigh, and then she jumps out and slashes the screen. It's full screen and freezes, and she has Debilitator. So Yeah, Yoruichi, I don't know, her SA1, there's SA2, her NAD, and then her SA3 once again. That's Yoruichi's gameplay. I'll stop it there, and I'll just go back. So Yoruichi, overall, on paper, she looks really good. She has everything you'd want on a frenzy unit with the trait, the killer, ISP, and the skills and everything. That's all nice. But then when you get into the gameplay, I don't really like the SA1. The SA1 is a 40% magnification projectile, and I would compare that to like Sugunda Tapa Ukiura's SA1. It's also a 40% magnification projectile. But the difference is his travels out much faster, and he also has Havoc, so the AoE is larger. Yoruichi doesn't have Havoc, and it's slow. Like I said, the SA2, it reminds me of 1000 Year Blood War Yoruichi, but again, she travels out much slower. It's like a much slower lunge. I don't know why they'd make it slower. And her SA3 is a standard full screen. Overall, a bit disappointing when they got into her strong attacks. I don't like how her SA1 and SA2 are projectile and slow. I don't think it really fits the theme of Yoruichi being, such a fast character. But overall, I think she's kind of below average, or average or below average, just based on that. I don't think her strong attacks don't seem like they go well together, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, that's Yoruichi, so we'll move on to the next character now. Alright, and the next character we're going to look at is Christmas Nemu. So going off her stats, she has 1040 stamina, 708 attack, 355 defense, 341 focus, 724 SP, and her skills I believe to be are Sprinter, Bruiser 40%, Berserker 30, Bombardment, Weaken Defense, and Debilitator 5 seconds. Her killer is Hollow, and she has a normal attack damage, 20% soul trait, and she is a heart attribute character, as you can see. So just on first, well, not really first glance, because I've obviously seen this, but just looking at her at first, she doesn't have, frenzy or anything like that. They made her a hybrid type character with high attack, high SP. They gave her a NAD trait, and they gave her a bombardment special. This is like a formula they follow pretty much for a lot of the hybrid type characters. High attack, high SP, and a bombardment special. And the trait can be whatever. At least she got a NAD trait. When I think of another one, like Wonderweiss, he got a fire resist. It's fitting, but it's kind of useless. And his killer is Captain, again, useless. But at least she got a PvE killer and a trait that is useful. But other than that, she does have confusion on everything. She does have Debilitator Confusion. She has Bombardment and Weaken Defense, so her special is going to hit really hard. And when we get into the gameplay, you'll see she actually has the Revival mechanic on her special. So she's the second character now after 1000 Year Blood War Kisuke to have that ability, I guess, or that effect. But anyway, let's get into the gameplay. And here we are with Christmas Nemu. I think they start with their NAD. It's a 4-hit NAD string. It looks like I want them to hit enemies. That last one that is like a triple hit, it doesn't look like it's an actual triple hit. It's just the animation. It's just 3 projectiles, but it's not actually hitting 3 times. But it looks like... Okay, they don't even show it. I want them to go back and... It looks like her NAD just kind of pushes them away. I don't know if it pierces or anything like that. But then, anyway, here's her SA1. So you might not have been able to see it too well right there. They'll do it again in the following room. And I'll just pause it. So right about here. I do her SA1, so I guess I can pull that back a little bit. So there's her SA1. Her SA1 is a 180% magnification projectile type strong attack. It's basically 3 lines that fire out, and each of them hit multiple times. They'll do less damage, or the damage is less as the further it spreads out. The damage is less concentrated the further the strong attack spreads out. So you're going to get the most damage as close as you are to the enemy. And this is the same type of attack like 1000 Year Blood War Kisuke, and we all know how that went down, how that strong attack is. It's not very good, so it's a bit disappointing to see this. At the very least, Kisuke at least had Frenzy. This character doesn't even have Frenzy, and they have this strong attack. So not only have they made her this like hybrid just off of stats and skills, now they gave her like a pretty bad strong attack. But that was her SA1. I guess they used her... Yeah, she uses the SA2, I think, right here. The SA2, she throws a present down in front of her. And I'll just slow this down. And it kind of just explodes and pushes everything back in an AoE. And I believe it's like 160 magnification. It's the same as a shockwave, like 1000 Year Blood War Shunsui or the new Lost Agent Jushiro. It's the same magnification as that. I think it's a shockwave type strong attack. So again, a strong attack that's not very good in most situations. You need to be right next to the enemy to get the max damage. It pushes everything away. So yeah, that's 2 for 2 now. 2 strong attacks that aren't very good. And then I guess that's her SA1 again, as you can see. We'll play that back normal speed. And then I think they use her SA3 here. Yeah, so that's her SA3. It's AoE around her. If you didn't know, it is not full screen. It is 900 AoE. It is not a full screen strong attack. So again, a bit disappointing. I don't know why they would give the other characters full screen SA3s and then they just like, oh, let's just not give her that extra 100 AoE. It might not, I mean, to some people it might not matter that much, but it just seems weird to me. And here we have her special. She's holding this little doll of Mayuri. The Christmas tree is a rocket, or it's just a firework, and it just explodes and they go everywhere. And you can see the revival effect here on the character icons. So like I said, it's the same as Kisuke's effect or ability that he has. But that's pretty much it for Nemu's gameplay, I believe. I don't think there's anything more. Yeah, they just use some strong attacks here, and then that's it. So that was Christmas Nemu's gameplay. I guess we can go out from here. Sad to say, Christmas Nemu seems to be the shafted unit, like especially shafted unit in the banner. Like I said, her SA1 is the same as 1000 Year Blood War Kisuke, very inconsistent. Her SA2 is another like shockwave type strong attack, which is not very good, pushes everything away, you need to be close to them. The uses of those type of strong attacks are very limited, and her SA3 is less than full screen. So sadly, yeah, she seems like a mess of a character. At best, she's a good nuker, having both bombardment and weakened defense with high SP, and having a very small niche with the revival special. But other than that, I don't see her being really that great of a unit at all. But anyway, we'll move on to the next character now. Alright, and the next character is Christmas Retsu. Going over stats, she has 1042 stamina, 634 attack, 365 defense, 347 focus, 778 SP. Her skills, I believe to be a Frenzy, Sprinter, Frenzy, Bruiser 20%, Devastation 40, Weaken Attack, and Debilitator 5 seconds. She has Soul Reaper Killer, and her soul trait is Strong Attack Recharge, minus 12%, and she is a tech attribute character. So once again, similar to Yoruichi, good soul trait, good killer, high SP, Frenzy, all the things that you would typically want on a Frenzy unit. But let's get into her gameplay and we'll have a better look at her strong attacks. And here is her gameplay. So she's a ranged character. If you didn't know, she has burn on everything. She has a 4-hit Nad string. Again, pushes everything back. I'm not sure if it pierces. I guess the mobs aren't like really grouped up. So here's her SA1. The projectile type strong attack. It is a fixed magnification of 120%. So it will always deal the same damage, like flying. It'll deal its full damage as it hits everything. So I'd say like that's at least better than having a lower magnification and needs to hit more times to get its damage to ramp up. But anyway, our SA1, you know, being a ranged projectile, not too great. But anyway, let's keep watching. And that's her SA2. So her SA2 kind of reminds me of a miniature version of Spirit Rukia's SA2. It's kind of like a little vortex pull. It pulls everything in, and then it just explodes. It's definitely not the same AoE. Spirit Rukia is like full screen AoE, I guess full screen in front of her. But this is it's a smaller AoE, it's like 625, I think. And I think this is SA3, yeah, so SA3 is a full screen strong attack, which doesn't seem bad. SA1 once again, and then SA2 kind of like pulls them in and explodes. And then I guess they'll show off the special right here. Any minute now. Are they going to use their strong attack some more? I don't know what they're doing. Okay, here we go. So her special, she's kind of like floating downwards, lighting these candles, I guess. And then it shows it's a Christmas tree. She's a Merry Christmas. It's a full screen special, burn, debilitator. So pretty much that's it for Christmas Retsu. Oh, I just noticed her SA1. I didn't actually notice that before. I didn't catch that. Her SA1 is Minazuki. It's her Zanpakuto. I didn't catch that before. I thought it was just like a fireball or something, but it's actually her Zanpakuto that's on fire, I guess, because she has all these fire-themed attacks. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that. But yeah, SA2 and then her NAD. So that's pretty much it for Christmas Retsu. Similar to Yoruichi, Christmas Retsu on paper, she looked not too bad, but some, you know, definitely some drawbacks with her SA1 being a ranged projectile. Her SA2 is at least melee collision, and it's like a weaker version of Spirit Rukia's third strong attack. It's not the greatest, but it'll do, I guess. It's kind of average. And her SA3 being a standard full screen, that's always fine. Overall, I don't think she's a very outstanding unit, but she's okay. The debilitator burn on her is nice, and I'll say that she's probably the best range Soul Reaper killer for the tech attributes. But other than that, she's a pretty average unit. She's not really changing too much by being added into the game. But anyway, that is the last character, and that pretty much concludes the, I guess, my analysis and my thoughts and impressions on these characters. Overall, I don't think they're very strong units. Like Nemu really just wasn't treated fairly. Yoruichi, you know, kind of ruined. I won't say, yeah, they kind of ruined her strong attacks, and Retsu is like meh, average, but overall, not a very strong banner. If you're not too interested, then I'd advise not summoning, but especially since we are getting, we'll definitely get step-ups, and, you know, we don't know for a fact that we're getting novel characters at step-ups. We know that they're coming 2019. We could get them a bit later on, or we could get them at the end of this month. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So I hope this video was helpful for you and you found it informative, and maybe change your opinion on summoning, or not wanting to summon or anything like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all later.